Here's your KNDY weatherology forecast for northeast Kansas and southeast Nebraska. Mainly sunny skies today with daytime highs approaching 79. Lows level off around 54. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. A mix of clouds and sun. Tomorrow, highs level off around 78. Partly cloudy skies Sunday with highs in the mid-80s. Slight chance of rain showers Monday. I'm staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Right now, 59.
Kansas Mid-America Network News. I'm Andy Hoosier. The state of Kansas has released their latest 2023 annual state child death report, showing that mortality rates continue to be on the decline across the state of Kansas. However, they do remain above the national average. As KWCH News reports, the report comes from the Kansas State Child Death Review Board under the Attorney General's office, comparing the 2023 numbers to the latest 2025 annual report analysis, showing that in 2023, 361 Kansas children died before their 18th birthday, over half of those being infants, showing that overall that there has been a decline in child death rate since 2023, which is good news. However, we continue to be above that national average. The biggest concern continues to be the sudden unexpected infant death, or SUDS, with homicides resulting from child abuse or neglect having increased sharply, with 12 confirmed child abuse homicides in 2023, 3 times higher than what we had seen in 2022. Kansas Mid-America Network News.
Mega savings going on now at the Rocktober sales event going on at Rusty Eck Ford. 2025 Explorer, $1,500 rebate and 3.9% APR for 72 months or 2.9% APR for 60 months. Or a 2025 Escape with a $4,000 rebate. 2025 Escape, 36 months, 10,500 miles per year lease for $399 a month. 2025 Bronco Sport, 36 months, 10,500 miles per year lease for $399 a month. 2025 Mustang EcoBoost, 36 months, 10,500 miles per year lease for $399 a month. Rock and roll all month long at Rusty Eck Ford and drive home in your new Ford today. Visit Rusty Eck Ford or rustyeckford.com today. Lease offers first payment due at signing. Offers can't be combined with approved credit. Must finance with Ford Motor Credit. See dealer for details.
Kansas Attorney General Chris Kobach made the announcement this week requesting a special legislative session for the legislators to help reconsider language in the law that was passed in 2023, preventing Kansans from changing their sex on their driver's license, known as the Women's Bill of Rights, or SB 180. As WIBW reports that the bill did create a legal definition of biological sex and required state agencies to exclusively recognize a person's gender as it was assigned at birth. Prior to the bill, the Kansas Department of Revenue did allow Kansans to change their sex listed on their driver's license to reflect the gender that they identified as. However, that stopped after Kobach had sued the KDOR to stop that practice back in 2023. An appeals court ruling, however, revoked that injunction as Kobach appealed that decision and asked that the injunction be maintained. State Republican lawmakers say they are working on a petition to go into a special session in the month of November to address that issue and potentially address issues about redistricting the congressional lines within the state. Kansas Mid-America Network News, I'm Andy Hoosier.
Midwest summers get downright hot. Don't let your vehicle sweat you another year by getting that AC checked at Danes Automotive in Marysville or Waterville. From tune-ups and refrigerant checks to system leaks or compressor issues, this summer, let Danes Automotive in Marysville and Waterville keep you cool when temperatures rise. With over 85 years of combined experience, let the certified staff at Danes Automotive keep your vehicle's AC in top-notch shape.
Nebraska Mid-America Network News. I'm Andy Hoosier. The state of Nebraska says they are raking in the sales tax from the near $14 million record Powerball jackpot that came from the state of Nebraska, with proceeds going to the state through the Kansas Lottery beneficiaries. As Nebraska Examiner said that the near $14 million derived from the scratch and lotto game ticket sales over the past 3 months. That was the 6th largest quarterly transfer since Nebraska launched the lottery back in 1993. The amount overall brought lottery proceed transfers to beneficiaries, including the Nebraska State Fair and the State Funds for Education, the Environment, and Problem Gamblers, with near $1.05 billion coming in since the start of Nebraska's lottery. Overall, according to state officials, they say that Powerball tickets in the state of Nebraska during the run so far have accounted for more than $3.9 million in proceeds for different groups and causes across the state. Nebraska Mid-America Network News.
Every great sandwich should start with a great bread, which is why Mrs. Baird's puts as much care and pride into baking wholesome and delicious breads as you put into every sandwich. From toasted whole grains to natural honey and molasses, Mrs. Baird's breads are made from only the best stuff to fuel you and your family. So whether it's PB&J on whole grain white or turkey and Swiss on honey 7 grain, Mrs. Baird's has a delicious, nutritious bread to build it on. Mrs. Baird's, baking breads that taste great since 1908.
Reporting local news, I'm Bruce Dierking. A Waterville man, James D. Winkenwater, was found guilty of second-degree murder in Marshall County District Court Tuesday in a plea agreement on charges of first-degree murder in the July 2024 death of Cameron Shoptees of Blue Rapids. Waiving a right to a trial, Winkenwater also pled no contest to charges of possession of methamphetamine and aggravated assault, with dismissal of other charges for previous alleged crimes. A December 2nd sentencing is set with a recommended sentence of 18 years, consecutive with the assault charge and concurrent with the drug charge. Football homecoming is Friday at Diller Odell. Candidates include the entire senior class. The Tigers host Dorchester tonight. Seneca Downtown Impact will host the annual Oktoberfest celebration Saturday with a downtown craft fair from 9 to 3. Beer tasting and live music 4 until 7 on the main street. $25 for 10 samples, plus a kids area. Museums will be open, as well as a Volksmarch, Steinholding competition, and more. For the full schedule, go online to comeseeseneca.com. The Oregon Trail Trek is Sunday at Alcove Springs. A 1-mile event connects all the historic parts of the park. It will be led by an Alcove docent. Flu vaccine outreach clinics continue in Marshall County Monday at the Axtell American Legion, 8:30 till 10, and the Summerfield Fire Station, 10:30 until noon. Then Tuesday in Frankfort at the Nutrition Site from 9 to 10:30, and Vermillion at the Community Center, 11 until noon. Offering all adult and adolescent and child vaccines, including flu and COVID. Please bring a current insurance card. For more information, contact the Marshall County Health Department. City of Axtell advising residents electricity will be shut off Monday from 10 to 2 for electrical upgrades, with work starting at 4th Street to the west end of town. Construction on US 77 in South Marysville is to begin Monday, which will impact parking and access at Marysville Junior Senior High through December. All school entrances on the highway will be closed except for Walnut Street, and parking in the Ag Lot will be restricted. Our public affairs program this weekend will highlight Valley Vet Supply, which is hosting a 40th anniversary celebration Saturday.
Well, my understanding, the good, loyal employees have put this together, and but from what they tell me, it's this Saturday, October the 11th, held at Venue 36 here in Marysville, and begins at 5 p.m. It's open to the public, and expect a lot of previous employees may return to catch up with some of their old employee friends, and so we're looking forward to a nice celebration. I think they have some food planned, and it should be a fun time. Well, we didn't know what was ahead. We didn't know if there would be enough business there to be profitable or keep going the second year, the third year, et cetera. But we just kept working at it and had a wonderful array of employees that helped us. Without those great team members, we couldn't have grown and progressed. And so I guess the strategy is keep looking forward. Don't be afraid to work hard and serve your customer with integrity, and it'll all probably work.
Dr. Arnold Nagley, again, will be our guest on the Public Affairs program, airing at 7:10 Saturday morning on KNDY. He founded Valley Vet Clinic with Dr. Ray Schultz in the early 1980s. That became Valley Vet Supply, which celebrates 40 years this Saturday. Karen A. Ringstorff, age 69, of Bremen, passed away Monday. Funeral service Friday, 10 a.m. at the Bethlehem Lutheran Church, rural Bremen. Burial in the church cemetery. Visitation Thursday, 5 until 7 p.m. at the church. Kinsley's of Marysville in charge of arrangements for Karen Ringstorff. Lorena F. Burton, age 92, of Frankfort, passed away Monday. Funeral service Friday, 2:30 at the Frankfort United Methodist Church. Burial in the Frankfort Cemetery. Visitation Thursday, 5 until 7, at the Padden Funeral Chapel in Frankfort, in charge of arrangements for Lorena Burton. Lowell W. Hers, age 83, of Lynn, passed away Tuesday. Funeral service Saturday, 10 a.m. at Emmanuel Lutheran Church, west of Lynn. Burial of the church cemetery. Visitation Friday, 4 until 8 p.m. at the Ward Funeral Home at Lynn, in charge of arrangements for Lowell Hers. Charles E. Chuck Diekman, age 91, of Lynn, passed away Wednesday. Funeral service Monday, 10:30 at the Zion Lutheran Church, Lynn. Burial of the church cemetery. Visitation Sunday, 4 until 7 p.m. at the Ward Funeral Home in Lynn, in charge of arrangements for Chuck Diekman. Arlene K. Mingers, age 84, of Marysville, passed away October 4th. Funeral service October 24th, 10:30 at St. Gregory's Catholic Church, Marysville. Burial at St. John's Catholic Cemetery, Hanover. Kinsley's in charge of arrangements for Arlene Mingers. On the Marshall County Senior Citizens lunch menu today, tuna patties, scallop potatoes, Capri vegetable blend, and cranberry sauce. Monday's menu, lasagna with garlic bread salad and fresh fruit. KNDY News Time, 7:15.
Agriculture. Our country was built on it. Our children are fed by it. No one quite understands the unique needs of the farmer like United Bank and Trust. Whether you raise crops or livestock, you need the right equipment at the right time. Our ag loans can help you acquire and maintain that equipment when and where you need it. Contact one of our experienced ag lenders today. United Bank and Trust. Banking for your way of life. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Here's your KNDY weatherology forecast for northeast Kansas and southeast Nebraska. Sunshine today with our highs in the upper 70s and lower 80s. Staying partly cloudy overnight tonight with our lows in the mid to upper 50s. Some sunshine throughout Saturday with our highs in the upper 70s and lower 80s. Then staying mostly clear throughout Saturday night with our lows in the upper 50s and lower 60s. Southeast winds between 10 and 15 and gusting up to 30. Staying sunny throughout the day on Sunday with our highs in the lower to mid 80s. South winds between 15 and 20 and gusting up to 35. Then staying partly cloudy throughout Sunday night with our lows in the upper 40s and lower 60s. There will be a slight chance for some rain showers as we head into early Monday, otherwise mostly sunny with our highs in the mid to upper 70s. And some rain showers throughout Monday night, partly cloudy with our lows in the mid to upper 50s. Some sunshine on Tuesday, otherwise a slight chance for some rain showers with our highs in the upper 60s and mid 70s. Then scattered showers continue into Tuesday night, partly cloudy with our lows in the upper 50s and lower 60s. Staying sunny throughout Wednesday with our highs in the mid to upper 70s and mostly clear throughout Wednesday night. I'm meteorologist Kara Foster.
Average high temperature mid-October 72, record high in this date 95. The average low 47, the record low 22. Sunrise this morning 7:32, sunset this evening at 6:56. It's 59 degrees this hour. That's check of the morning news and weather for this Friday, the 10th of October. KNDY News Time, 7:17. I'm Bruce Dierking reporting.
Welcoming new life into the world is a special moment. And at Washington County Hospital, we make it extra special. With our modern delivery and recovery suite designed for comfort and care, we're here to support your growing family every step of the way. Over the years, Dr. Hodson and Dr. Sherlock have delivered 545 babies, and we're still counting. At Washington County Hospital, we're not just here for today, we're here to stay. Join our family. Washington County Hospital, best of care, close to home.
I'm Alex Sobario. 2 Game 4s in the NLDS on Thursday. The Dodgers and Phillies in a pitcher's duel. Game tied at 1 in the 11th. Bases loaded with the Dodgers batting, facing Orion Kerkering.
Kerkering delivers. Swinging a ground ball back to the pitcher. He knocks it down. Picks it up. He throws home. And a run scores. He threw it away. He threw it right by everybody. Kim scores. And the Dodgers win it in 11. And they are on to the NLCS.
You heard it on ESPN Radio. Dodgers heading back to the NLCS, their 7th trip in their last 10 seasons under skipper Dave Roberts. Meanwhile, in Chicago, Cubs and Brewers. Cubs needing a win to force a Game 5. They've been performing well this postseason in the first inning. Homers in the first inning in 3 straight postseason games will make it 4.
Here's a 1-1. Swing and a drive. Right field. Way back. Gone. Into the bleachers in right. Ian Happ unloads. And the Cubs jump out to a 3-0 lead. More first-inning magic for the Cubs.
Cubs win it 6-0 in Game 4 to force a do-or-die Game 5 in Milwaukee. Cubs hit 3 homers in the shutout win, including the 4th of the postseason. For Michael Busch, Cubs skipper Craig Counsell on keeping their season alive.
Yeah, I mean, we were in this game last week, Thursday, so it's the same game, and we had to fight our way to get into it. And I think the guys are fired up to pack their bags, no doubt about it. And we had to earn 2 hard-fought wins. We did that, and now we get the opportunity and the fun of getting to go close out a series.
Game 5 of the series on Saturday in Milwaukee on ESPN Radio. Rookie running back Cam Scatterby ran for 3 touchdowns. The New York Giants beat the Eagles 34-17. Philly losing their second game in 4 days. Jackson Dart, 17 of 25, 195 yards of rushing and a passing touchdown. Giants had a string of 10 straight Thursday night losses over the last 10 seasons.
Protect your home and auto by bundling them with Progressive, and you'll have a little less to worry about. But we know you'll find other things to worry about. Like that text you just got from your boss. Hey, call me when you get a sec. Hey, call me when you get a sec. Hey, call me when you get a sec. Oh, hey, call me when you get a sec. Yeah, this is bad. Oh, well, at least you protected your home and auto with Progressive, so you don't have to worry about that. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Member Week is here at Lowe's. That means it's time for MyLowe's Rewards members to save big with up to 40% off hundreds of items like appliances, tools, home essentials, and more. Plus, get free standard shipping. Shop these exclusive member-only savings now through October 15th. Not a rewards member? Join for free today. Free standard shipping not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at Lowe's.com/terms. Subject to change.
Friday night football action, Marysville at Rock Creek. It's live on AM 1570, FM 94.1. And our Friday feature game is Frankfurt at Blue Valley, live on FM 95.5. Cape Rep's pregame show begins in the 6 o'clock hour ahead of pregame coverage and 7 o'clock kickoffs. Valley Heights at Harrington, Hanover at Wakefield. Washington County travels to Rock Hills. Axtell's at St. Paul, Lynn at Pike Valley. The Centralia game with Norton has been forfeit. Norton didn't have enough players. Diller Odell is host to Dorchester. Southern entertains Sutton.
From ABC News, Wall Street now. Stock futures were little changed overnight after both the S&P and NASDAQ composite retreated Thursday from fresh all-time highs. The S&P gave up 0.25% yesterday. The NASDAQ slipped a fraction. The Dow fell 243 points to close at 46,358. Despite the government shutdown, a key inflation report will be released thanks to a recall of some furloughed federal workers. Consumer price data for September was to come out next week. Now the timing is unclear. Profits are rising at Levi's thanks to targeted price increases to offset the effect of rising import fees imposed by the White House. The jeans maker also has shifted away from wholesalers and focused on selling through its own stores and website. This Halloween, chocolate isn't cheap. Drought followed by flooding in cocoa-producing countries have conspired with U.S. tariffs to more than double the price since early 2024. So expect to pay more for Halloween candy and get less. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
No one is all in all season for their farmers like your local Channel Seed Pro with Midwest Seed Farms. You can expect personalized agronomic insights and support to help maximize your farm's performance and profitability. See how the Channel Seed Pros provide that next level of experience by contacting Ashton or Ben with Midwest Seed Farms at 785-348-3125.
Ag News for the Mid-America Ag Network. I'm James Garrett. Much of Kansas and the Central Plains are now entering the time of winter wheat crop harvest season. And that means, well, pests are going to be showing up around the fields. Jeff Whitworth, a K-State crop entomologist, tells us the kind of questions and concerns that he's been getting.
Right now, it's second week in October, third week in October is the ideal time to plant wheat if you're trying to avoid pests. And that's my job, is to try and help people avoid pests. So if you haven't planted yet, great, good for you. But now's the time. The questions I'm getting, for the most part, we still have, last year we had a lot of problems with wheat streak mosaic, which is carried, vectored, whatever you want to call it, by little tiny mites, called the wheat curl mites. And I'm getting a lot of calls about those as people get ready to plant. I'm also getting a lot of calls about the armyworms. As everybody knows, this year we've had really serious problems with fall armyworms and armyworms. So hopefully we can talk about that for the last time this year, and everybody gets their wheat planted and gets some moisture, and we'll be looking good. Anyway, the first question I always get, should I use an insecticide with my wheat seed during the treatment? Because just about everybody seems to be using fungicides, but insecticides are a little more of an option. Generally speaking, in the state of Kansas, we don't need wheat seed treated with an insecticide. The insecticides that we have don't work too well on wheat curl mites. So if you're worried about wheat curl mites or wheat streak mosaic, it's probably not going to help you with that. We've used insecticide seed treatments to keep aphids off plants in our mite colonies. So that should tell you that just doesn't affect the mites. So whether it's wintergreen mite, wheat curl mite, whatever it is, the insecticide seed treatments aren't going to help with the mite problem.
El Dorado Livestock Auction, 2.5 miles east of El Dorado on Highway 54. Proudly serving farmers and ranchers with weekly cattle sales each Thursday at 11 a.m. The order of sale is stock cows and bulls, followed by calves, feeder cattle, then butcher cows and bulls. The goal at El Dorado Livestock Auction is to use an honest, full-value approach that attracts the best buyers and creates a competitive market for our sellers. El Dorado Livestock Auction strives to develop a friendly, personal relationship with each customer and understand their individual business needs. You can see a full list of consignments online at ElDoradoLivestock.com or pick up the phone and call 316-320-3212 with any questions. El Dorado Livestock Auction, a sale every Thursday at 11 a.m. El Dorado Livestock Auction, 2.5 miles east of El Dorado on Highway 54.
Like everything around us, agriculture and rural living is changing. Kansas Farm Bureau's Farm Weekend brings you the stories, the voices, and the passion of farm families living and adapting to these changes. Farm Weekend on KNDY, Farm and Home Information Radio, a service of the Marshall County Farm Bureau Association.
From Kansas State University, this is Agriculture Today. I'm Madeline Drake. Musk thistle is a common, non-native, and hard-to-control weed in Kansas. K-State Range Management Extension Specialist Molly Reichenborn discusses how to identify non-native versus native thistle in the field.
So musk thistle is a noxious weed in Kansas. It's a non-native thistle. We also have native thistles in Kansas too. They do look very similar, or can look very similar compared to our native thistles too, but something I always like to use for ID, not necessarily between native thistles, but between like musk thistle and a native thistle, is if you look underneath the leaves, there'll be a really dense matting of hair that will make the leaf look white on our native thistles, and musk thistles will not have that.
She details the rosette and flowering pattern cycle of this weed.
So if you're out and about now, you probably have noticed it because it is flowering now, like our native thistles too. It has kind of a pinkish, purplish flower, which again can make it harder to identify. There are good photos online and also in the e-update of what the rosette looks like, which is when these sorts of plants first come up. A musk thistle is a biennial, is what we call it. So it basically means that it takes, on average, 2 years for it to complete its life cycle. So it comes up as what we call a rosette, which is these basal leaves that are just low to the ground. And it'll stay that way until it bolts, which is when it's setting up a stem, and then flowers. So most of the time we see it when it flowers because it's very obvious. But for a while, it'll stay as that rosette. So either it will come up as a rosette usually in the spring, early on in the spring, or sometimes even now, it can come up as rosette, and then it will overwinter and then not complete its life cycle and flower until later on next year.
Reichenborn describes when the best time is to manage musk thistle.
Like a lot of our weedy species, non-native species, they're probably going to be in disturbed areas. You can find them out in like established stands too. So it's good to keep an eye out for them, even if the flowering individuals are more resistant herbicide now. If you find them, it's a good idea to like mark it on a GPS or flag it or in some way so you can come back and check to see if there's rosettes coming up. The good news is once they bolt and flower, that's it. So they're going to seed, and that individual is not going to come back again, but obviously their offspring will come back up. So you do want to check in the middle of the patches if you're looking for stuff. Hopefully you'll be able to see them. Most of the time they're going to be in more disturbed areas.
That was K-State Range Management Extension Specialist Molly Reichenborn on musk thistle identification and her recommendations for control. I'm Madeline Drake, and this has been Agriculture Today over the K-State Radio Network.
7:29 from KNDY and 59 degrees this hour. Highs around 80 today, tomorrow middle 80s on a warm day Sunday ahead of a cold front that could prompt some passing scattered showers early into next week.
Autumn leaves don't change color as much as they reveal what's been there all along. We'll explain on the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report.
If you're a farmer or rancher, chances are you've thought about joining Kansas Farm Bureau. So what's stopping you? Your membership means you have a seat at the table when it comes to the issues that affect your farm. Things like trade, taxes, water, and regulations. The state's largest farm advocacy organization brings your message to policy decision makers at the county, state, and national level. The voice of agriculture becomes your voice and fights for Kansas farmers and ranchers. And a Kansas Farm Bureau membership includes other benefits. For about $50 a year, you'll receive discounts on equipment and supplies, cell phone plans, financial and legal support, home and office supplies, and more. You'll also receive Kansas Living, a quarterly lifestyle magazine featuring real stories of farmers and producers around the state, plus great recipes, crafts, and things to see and do in Kansas. Join us today. Visit kfb.org/farmer-rancher to learn more.
With more practical tips and useful advice, this is the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report for Friday, October 10th, the 283rd day of the year. Jazz pianist Thelonious Monk was born on this day 108 years ago. To show your true colors is a term that dates back to naval lore, when enemy ships would fly false colors as a means of deception. But we might also say that trees are showing their true colors in the fall. As the days shorten, photosynthesis stops. And as we all learned in school, that's the process that produces chlorophyll and the leaves' green pigment. As the green fades, the leaves' true colors are revealed. That's especially true for the yellow and gold leaves. The orange, red, and rust colors come from anthocyanin, a sort of natural sunscreen produced by trees to keep nutrient gathering going as long as possible. And that is the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report. Learn more at almanac.com.
Kansas Mid-America Network Sports. I'm Andy Hoosier. After their loss on a Monday night football game for the Kansas City Chiefs, they're back at it for another primetime game right around the corner for Sunday night football coming up this week. Well, they are back at home at Arrowhead Stadium taking on the Detroit Lions. That kickoff coming up at 7:20 on Sunday. The Chiefs are now at 2-3 for the regular season after their 31-28 loss against the Jaguars, where Kansas City had a strong fourth quarter in that game but didn't quite match the Jaguars, who still put 10 points on the board. With this week's Sunday night football game, the Detroit Lions are coming in strong as well, having their record right now at 4-1 after their latest win against the Cincinnati Bengals, 37-24. With the 2-3 record, the Chiefs are number 3 in the AFC West currently, behind the Denver Broncos, who are at 3-2, tied with the Chargers. After Sunday night, they're back at Arrowhead Stadium next week against the Las Vegas Raiders. That game with kickoff in the middle of the day at 12 o'clock. Kansas Mid-America Network Sports.
In this week's Marysville Dental Care Game of the Week on KNDY FM 95.5, the 2-3 Frankfort Wildcats travel to Randolph to tangle with the 1-4 Blue Valley Rams. Head coach for the Wildcats, Nick Anderson, is expecting his team to clean up mistakes Friday night.
Just continue to clean things up. We're still awfully penalty prone. We got to shore up some things on the offensive line, and on the perimeter, we got to catch the football when it's thrown to us. So if we can start doing those things and stop beating ourselves, we have a chance to be a competitive football team.
Opposite of that broadcast on AM 1570, FM 94.1, the winless Marysville Bulldogs have a tough battle at undefeated Rock Creek. Despite their record, head coach for the Bulldogs, Tony Trimble, has a plan to give the Mustangs of Rock Creek a battle.
We've got to find a way to hang on to the football when we have it, take time off the clock, continue to grind out first downs, and then when we get the opportunity to get down there and put some points on the board. And then, when we get on defense, we need to make sure that we are playing solid, making them earn everything that they have to get, and get a chance. We need to try to take advantage and get some turnovers.
Pre-game coverage starts at 6 p.m. with the K-Preps pregame show leading up to kickoff for Frankfort at Blue Valley on FM 95.5 and Marysville at Rock Creek on AM 1570, FM 94.1. Both games streaming in the free KNDY app and at KNDYradio.com.
Friday night football action, Marysville at Rock Creek. It's live on AM 1570, FM 94.1. And our Friday feature game is Frankfurt at Blue Valley, live on FM 95.5. Cape Rep's pregame show begins in the 6 o'clock hour ahead of pregame coverage and 7 o'clock kickoffs. Valley Heights at Harrington, Hanover at Wakefield. Washington County travels to Rock Hills. Axtell's at St. Paul. Lynn at Pike Valley. The Centralia game with Norton has been forfeit. Norton didn't have enough players. Diller Odell is host to Dorchester. Southern entertains Sutton.
Grab your purple and white, pound the stone, and eat 'em up, KSU.
It is caught. Touchdown, Kansas State.
The Wildcats play here.
It is good.
Join us Saturday as the Wildcats battle the TCU Horned Frogs at Bill Snyder Family Stadium. Our coverage begins at 12:30 on your home for Kansas State Wildcat football.
Your home for legendary country music and K-State Wildcat football. Classic Country 1570 and 94.1 FM KNDY.
Since 1886, it's been the two words we live by and the chant we live to cheer. Be here all season as the Jayhawks hit the turf.
Touchdown, Kansas.
Join us this Saturday as the Jayhawks head to Lubbock to battle Texas Tech on your home for Kansas Jayhawk football.
This is Brian Haney, your home for today's country and Jayhawk football. Today's country, 95.5 KNDY.
You're tuned in to the TVL Rundown, a comprehensive look at the athletics and athletes within the Twin Valley League. Joined by Jeff Wirtz of the TVL Spotlight, I'm Max Blasky with KNDY. The TVL Rundown is a service of the Citizens National Bank in Greenleaf and Bruna Implement.
Another reason to make the Citizens National Bank your bank. With the century of experience, you know you can count on us for convenient banking and personal service from people you know and trust. With extended hours and online banking for all your financial needs. Another reason to make the Citizens National Bank your bank.
For the best in farming equipment with the service to back it, there is only one Bruna Implement Company, your local Case IH dealer. Since 1947, the staff at Bruna Implement Company works daily to provide the best parts and service when you need it, always dedicated to their customers. Bruna Implement Company has been family-owned for 3 generations, and they know what it takes to be successful as your area Case IH dealer. With locations in Marysville, Washington, Clay Center, Seneca, Hiawatha, and Humboldt, Nebraska. Stop by or give them a call today.
Welcome into another edition of the TVL Rundown. Fall sports hitting here early October. A lot of activity going on. We're going to start on the volleyball court. Earlier this week, there was a huge triangular over at Lynn between the Bulldogs, the Hanover Wildcats, and the Valley Heights Mustangs, with Lynn coming out with wins over Valley Heights and Hanover. Jeff, I'm going to turn it over to you because you were there Tuesday night. How was that triangular for those 3 teams?
Max, I think I've told you this before, but I'm going to tell you again. I love my job. It was so competitive all through the night. All of these top teams in the TVL, and they just continued to put it together. I was very impressed by everything that went on with Lynn, Hanover, and Valley Heights. Lynn does get 2 of those matches, and really in convincing fashion against Valley Heights, 25-17 and 25-19. And this wasn't a poor Valley Heights effort by any means, but I mention that every once in a while. Scores maybe not totally indicative. I think Valley Heights did play a lot better than that final score, but teams would get on a run, and, you know, I hate to toot my own horn at this TVL, but this was state-level competition for all 3 of these teams.
This all leads us up to the TVL tournament. That is going to be this Saturday at Onega. As you look at the seeding, Valley Heights is 1, Lynn at 2, Centralia 3. They each get a first-round bye. Hanover 4, Axtell 5, D West 6, Onega at 7, Blue Valley 8, Clifton Clyde 9, Washington County 10, and Frankfurt at 11. And I know we've talked about the tournament, I think, last week on this program. This will be a state-style, state competition level tournament over at Onega Saturday.
and they may even be better than the state level. The basketball and volleyball tournaments in the Twin Valley League are the best time of my entire year. You know how much I love the basketball tournament, Max. The volleyball tournament is just that same car crash in a much more condensed form, and that's what makes it so great. I can't wait for this Saturday.
Yeah, some of these teams, they could play upwards of 4 games in one Saturday, and very impressive. And I know you'll have the coverage of all the action there Saturday, Jeff. And if people obviously want to check out the tournament schedule, where can everyone find that?
Head on over to TVL Spotlight on both Facebook and Twitter. I will also have live updates all day long from the league tournament, as well as pictures and hopefully a few interviews.
Of course, we need to chat about football. Looking at the schedule there from last Friday night, game you were at, Valley Heights bounces back big versus Bennington, 62-12. No surprise, Hanover and Axel both get shutout victories. Frankfort, a tight one at Thunder Ridge, but they come out victorious. And then a contest I was at, Clifton Clyde at Washington County. I'm just going to speak for my game first as well. Washington County got down about 20 in that game. They brought it back to within 10 in the third and fourth quarter, but just couldn't get over the hump. But we talked about it last week. This Washington County team, don't be surprised next year if they're popping off some wins that some people don't expect them to get.
Everybody has a little bit of a dip in there, and I wouldn't even call it a dip with Washington County. A stall pattern, maybe, is the best way to say. They're going to be a team that is trouble coming up in the next few years, without a doubt.
Now, turning our attention to Friday's schedule real quick, and I think one of those teams that's wanting to see what they're made of, it's Frankfort at Blue Valley. Again, we'll have that broadcast on FM 95.5. Frankfort looking to get back to 500 this season. Meanwhile, Blue Valley coming off that tough loss at Hanover last Friday night. Of course, Blue Valley, a younger team this season, they're trying to figure some things out. But if they can also get some stuff figured out, there might be a dogfight Friday night down in Randolph.
I think so. I think you have picked a tremendous game there. I think it probably is going to be the one to watch. But these are games that right now everybody is just fighting. Everybody is just going for that brass ring. And, yeah, Max, you're going to see a great one. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, we're looking forward to it. Again, a lot of everyone on the road Friday night. As always, you can check in the TVL Spotlight on Facebook. Jeff will have updates throughout the evening. And don't forget that if you want to listen to our entire conversation, check out the TVL Rundown available at KNDYradio.com. That's going to close out another week, but don't worry, we'll have more high school Twin Valley League sports coverage next week right here on the TVL Rundown. You've been tuned in to the TVL Rundown, a comprehensive look at the athletics and athletes within the Twin Valley League. Joined by Jeff Wertz of the TVL Spotlight, I'm Max Blasky with KNDY. The TVL Rundown is a service of the Citizens National Bank in Greenleaf and Bruna Implement.
KNDY featuring live football action Friday, Marysville at Rock Creek, Frankfort at Blue Valley. On air, online, always on our free mobile apps.
Here's your KNDY weatherology forecast for northeast Kansas and southeast Nebraska. Mainly sunny skies today with daytime highs approaching 79. Lows level off around 54. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. A mix of clouds and sun. Tomorrow, highs level off around 78. Partly cloudy skies Sunday with highs in the mid-80s. Slight chance of rain showers Monday. I'm staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Right now, 59.
4-H, for you, for America, 4-H.
A salute to the area 4-H during October National 4-H Month. From the Anders, Fifely and Christy Anders Funeral Homes, Andy's Hardware and Lumber, Washington Veterinary Clinic, Franklin Oil, and Linda's Insurance Agency.
Hi, my name is Darren Bakendorf, and I am from the Bremen Hustlers 4-H Club. I have been in 4-H for 4 years. What 4-H has taught me is to keep on working hard on my projects.
My name is Madison Bankendorf. I have been in 4-H for 1 year. I am a Clover Bud in the Bremen Hustlers 4-H group. My favorite part of 4-H is the rabbits. 4-H has taught me to learn and show new things. My name is Riley Bankendorf. I have been in 4-H for 4 years in the Bremen Hustlers. My favorite part of 4-H is sewing. 4-H has taught me to get better at sewing.
My name is Aubrey Varian, and I am a 12-year member of Happy Harvesters 4-H Club. I have learned a lot of responsibility since I have pigs to take care of and get ready for the fair. I really enjoy taking animals to the fair because my whole family participates and we all have fun. This will be my 13th and last year in 4-H. I am so glad I've been involved in this organization and encourage all kids to give 4-H a try.
Hello, my name is Jason Crawley. I'm in a solo of member of the Wide Awake 4-H Club. Some projects that I do are goats, alts, and Legos. My favorite project is 4-H is Legos. Come be a part of 4-H with us. Hello, my name is Austin Fowley. I'm a first year member of the Wide Awake 4-H Club. This year, I'm a Clover Bud.
Hi, my name is Hudson Knox. I am from the Lucky 4-H Club. I've been in 4-H for 2 years. 4-H has taught me how to take good care of animals. I've learned how to be a good leader.
Hi, my name is Gwen Baker, and this is my 8th year in 4-H, and I'm in the Happy Harvest 4-H Club. My favorite part of the fair is taking care of my animals and hanging out with friends and making new memories and making new friendships. I would encourage anyone who is interested in 4-H to join us.
Hi, my name is Charlie Felty. I am a member of the Baldos and Bustos 4-H Club. This is my 4th year in 4-H. My favorite project is beef. 4-H has taught me to try my best.
A salute to the area 4-H during October National 4-H Month from the Anders, Fifely and Christy Anders Funeral Home, Andy's Hardware and Lumber, Washington Veterinary Clinic, Franklin Oil, and Linda's Insurance Agency.
4-H, for you, for America, 4-H.
The Manhattan Commission Company, Manhattan, Kansas, will be holding a special stock cow, breeding bull, and fall replacement heifer sale Wednesday, October the 15th, starting at 11 a.m. This sale will feature over 90 fancy black to black white face fall heifer pairs, 100 black white face 3 to 5 year old fall pairs, and 75 7-year to older pairs, all with July through September calves. Spring bred cows include 110 black and black white face 3 to 5 year old cows. There'll be 50 7 years to broken mouth cows. They'll all be bred for winter and spring calving. There'll be 35 fancy black and 27 red Angus first calf heifers due December and late January. Calf-fed vaccinated replacement heifers include 63 black white face, 11 red Angus, and 40 South Dakota origin Angus heifers that weigh 775 to 8 1/4. Also selling will be 5 Simmental, 1 Angus, and 1 Hereford bull. For more information for the special cow sale to be held Wednesday, October the 15th at the Manhattan Commission Company, please call 800-834-1029 or check our website at mcclivestock.com.
KNDY